Don't forget to like and subscribe to Jolie Knots Crochet. Share with your friends. Hit that little notification bell so you can get notified when new patterns release. All our videos are available in left and right-handed tutorials. Hi everyone, welcome back to Jolie Knots Crochet. I'm Crystal and today we're going to be making these really awesome feather stitch twisted ear warmers. Now we are going to start at one end, continue in one long strip all the way to the other end, and then I'll teach you how to sew them up so you can get that nice twisted look. All right, this one here, these are all 4-weight yarns. This one and this one are very heavy 4-weight yarns, so I chose to use a bigger hook. This one I used a 7, this one I used a 6.5. This one is a 4-weight yarn. It's a tad bit heavier and I used a 6mm hook. Now the difference with all of these are this one has 4 feather stitches across. This one's got 5 and this one's got 6. So the more stitches you do, of course, the wider it's going to be. I will explain to you how to make the length for a toddler, a child, and an adult size. And then I'm going to teach you how to make these twists in them. All right, we are going to be using whatever yarn and whatever hook size that you want, and I'll show you what I'm using for mine. 1 weight, I'm going to be using some Caron 1-pound yarn. This is just some extra that I had laying over from a project. All right, I'm also going to be using a 6mm hook. And what we're going to do is go ahead and get a slip knot. And now we're going to chain 13. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Now into the second chain from your hook, you're going to put a half double crochet, and then you're going to half double crochet into the rest of them. So you should have 12 half double crochets total. I've reached the end. Now I'm just going to chain 1 and turn my work. I'm going to put 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, and now we're going to start our feather stitches. Now let me show you where we're going to work the legs of our feather stitch. Now this one is just a setup row, so it's not going to continue. Essentially we're working in 2 stitch combos. This first one is counted already with our half double crochets, and the last one will also be half double crochets. So we'll have 5 groups over every 2 stitches, okay? Now, after your half double crochet, you're going to yarn over and you're going to go into the space between your first and your second half double crochet and pull up a loop. Now, you're going to yarn over and we're going to go into the same stitch, well, the same chain space that your second stitch was worked into. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I said we were working in 2 stitch sections, so now you're going to go over 1 stitch, and in between your second and your third stitch, now we're going to move over 1 stitch. We're going to yarn over and insert our hook on the other side of that stitch and pull up a loop. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through all 7. So we went through the first space, we went through the second stitch's chain. Here's our third stitch because that's our 2 double crochet grouping, and then our third leg went in between the next 2 stitches. So this is the first, is not included in our group. Second and third included in our group. Okay, first stitch of our group, second stitch of our group, first stitch of our group, second stitch of our group. Okay, chain 1 to secure that. Now yarn over. Our first leg is going to go into the same space that our last leg was just worked. Yarn over. Our next leg is going to go into the first group stitch into that chain space and pull up a loop. Now yarn over, we're going to move over now one stitch, and on the other side of that stitch we're going to place our hook and pull up a loop, and now we're going to yarn over and go through all 7 loops. Chain 1 to secure. First leg into the same space the last leg was worked. Second leg into that stitch's chain space underneath. Third leg moving over one double crochet and in between the next one. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all of your loops, and chain 1 to secure. And again, first leg, second leg, third leg. We should be ending up with 5 feather stitches. One, two, three, 4, 5. You should have 1 half double crochet left, and we will put a half double crochet on top of that. We're always going to start and end every row with the half double crochet. Chain 1, turn your work, half double crochet into your first space. Now, this is our repeat row. Our first leg is going to go into this first space. Our second leg is going to go directly underneath that, right there where this leg is moved into. And our third leg is going to go on the other side of our feather stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. Yarn over, insert your hook after your feather, and pull up a loop. You should have 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 7, chain 1 to secure. Yarn over, insert your hook before your feather, pull up a loop. Yarn over, insert your hook right down here where your legs are meeting, directly underneath it, and pull up a loop. Yarn over, insert your hook after your feather stitch, pull up a loop, pull through all of your loops, chain 1 to secure. 3 more feather stitches for this round. You're going to continue this stitch. It's a 1 row repeat. You're going to continue it to about 14 inches for a toddler. You're going to continue to about 16 inches for a child, and you're going to continue to approximately 18 inches for an adult. You can customize this. You are going to chain in multiples of 2 plus 1, and that's going to get you set up if you want it thinner for a toddler and you only want 4 feather stitches across, or say you want it wider for an adult and you want 6 feather stitches across. I like 5 feather stitches unless I'm using a thicker yarn, so you're going to continue your feather stitch, your 1 row repeat until you get to the length that you want for the size that you want. And then meet me back here and I'll show you how to close it up. We're going to make it twisted. All right. Okay, so now that we have our band, mine measures 21 inches because I have a very large head. What I'm gonna do is make sure that I leave a long tail to sew up, snip my yarn, pull my loop through, and now I'm gonna fold my work in half. Now from there, I'm gonna pick up my work, separate it, and fold it in half again. Just like that. Okay? Now I'm going to fit my folds inside of each other. Get my ends nice and straight. Thread my needle. And I'm just going to go back and forth through all of these stitches, making sure that I pick up every round on the way. So back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Now it's not really going to make a huge difference where exactly you put your stitches, as long as you're sewing it all together with a nice bulky stitch. Okay, now that I've sewn it up, I'm going to go ahead and put a knot, or several knots, just to make sure that it doesn't come out. Snip it at the end, and now I can flip it around. And now you've got that beautiful, amazing twist happening. Just like that. There you go, you've got your twisted, feathered head or ear warmer, nice and ready for you. Thank you everybody for watching Jolie Knots Crochet. I'm Crystal. Join me again, find out more tutorials. All of my patterns are customizable. All of my patterns are my own. You won't find them anywhere else. See you guys next time.